I sat in the back row of his wedding, wearing the same navy suit he helped me pick out 3 years earlier, while my wife stood 2 rows ahead of me, pretending not to notice I was there. She looked beautiful. That was the worst part. Her hair was curled softly around her shoulders. Her hands were folded in front of her. Her face carried that calm, respectful expression people wear at weddings when they want everyone to think they believe in love. And beside the altar stood Mark, my best friend, my engaged friend, the man who had sat in my kitchen 6 months earlier, drinking my coffee, laughing with my wife, calling me brother. I watched him adjust his cufflinks while his bride walked down the aisle, and all I could think was, he has no idea I know. Or maybe he did. Maybe that was why he kept glancing toward the back of the church. My name is Daniel. I'm 38, and until last year, I thought I had a quiet, decent life. I worked as a project manager for a construction company. My wife, Claire, taught elementary school. We had a small house with a crooked fence, Sunday grocery runs, and the kind of marriage people called stable. Not exciting, not perfect, but safe. Mark had been my friend since college. He was loud where I was calm, charming where I was careful. He was the guy who could walk into any room and make people feel like they already knew him. When he got engaged to Emily, I was genuinely happy for him. Claire was too. Maybe too happy. At first, I ignored it. The way she laughed at his jokes a second too long, the way her phone started facing down on the table, the way she suddenly volunteered to help Emily with wedding planning even though she had never cared about floral arrangements in her life. One night, I came downstairs at 2:14 a.m. because I couldn't sleep. Claire was in the kitchen. The fridge light was glowing across her face, and she was typing fast on her phone. When she saw me, she locked it so quickly her thumb slipped. "You okay?" I asked. She smiled, but it came late. "Just school stuff," she said. "Go back to bed." School stuff at 2 in the morning. I wanted to believe her because believing her was easier than facing what my body already knew. The first real crack came 2 weeks later. Claire told me she was staying late for parent-teacher conferences. I made dinner and waited. At 9, I texted her. No reply. At 10, she came home smelling like unfamiliar cologne and rain. She kissed my cheek quickly. "Long night," she said. I looked at her coat. There was a faint white thread on the sleeve, the kind from a hotel towel. I didn't ask. Not because I was weak, because sometimes, when your heart is breaking, it moves slower than your mind. For the next month, I watched quietly. Receipts disappeared, her gym schedule changed. Mark stopped answering my calls, but still liked Claire's social media posts within minutes. Then one Saturday, Claire left her laptop open. I wasn't trying to dig, I was printing insurance papers. But a message preview appeared in the corner. Mark. I still think about that night. My hands went cold. I opened the thread. There were months of messages. Not flirting, not mistakes, a full relationship hidden under my roof. Hotel rooms, voice notes, photos I wish I had never seen. Messages about me sleeping upstairs while they sat in my backyard pretending to be friends. One message from Claire hit harder than the rest. "Daniel would never suspect you. He trusts you more than anyone." I sat there for almost an hour without moving. The house was quiet except for the printer humming beside me. That was the moment something inside me changed. Not into rage, into clarity. When Claire came home, she found me making coffee. "Everything okay?" she asked. I looked at her, and for the first time in months, I didn't search her face for the woman I married. I just saw the lie. "Yeah," I said, "just tired." That night, I copied everything. Every message, every date, every photo, every hotel receipt attached to their emails. I didn't confront her. I didn't call Mark. I didn't throw things or make threats. I slept in the same bed beside her, staring at the ceiling, listening to her breathe like she had not destroyed anything. For weeks, I prepared. I opened a separate bank account. I met with a lawyer. I found a therapist. I slowly separated my life from hers without making noise. Claire noticed something. "You've been distant," she said one evening. I almost laughed. Instead, I said, "Have I?" She frowned. "Don't do that." "Do what?" "Act cold. It's manipulative." That was the strange thing about betrayal. The person lying to you can still accuse you of changing. Mark's wedding invitation sat on our counter for 2 months. Claire said we should go. "It would look weird if we didn't," she said. Look weird. Not feel wrong, not hurt Emily. Just look weird. That was when I knew exactly when the truth would come out. Not because I wanted a scene, because Emily deserved to know before she gave her life to a man who had already broken it, and because Mark had chosen the altar as his costume. So I let him wear it until the last possible second. The morning of the wedding, Claire was nervous. She changed dresses twice. She kept checking her phone. She asked if I was okay more than usual. "You seem quiet," she said. "I'm fine," I replied. At the church, Mark saw me and froze for half a second. Then he smiled, that same easy smile. "Brother," he said, hugging me. I let him. His hand patted my back like nothing had happened. Claire watched from a few feet away, her lips pressed together. During the ceremony, the pastor asked if anyone knew a reason this marriage should not take place. The church went still. My heartbeat was calm. I stood up. Claire whispered, "Daniel, don't." That whisper told everyone near us enough. I didn't shout. I didn't insult him. I didn't look at Mark first. I looked at Emily. "I'm sorry," I said. "You deserve the truth before you make this promise." Mark stepped forward. "Daniel, sit down." His voice had lost its charm. I pulled a sealed envelope from inside my jacket and handed it to Emily's father, who was standing beside the front pew. "There are messages, hotel receipts, dates, and photos in there," I said, "between Mark and my wife." The room changed. Not loudly. It was worse than loud. It was the sound of people realizing reality had just split open. Emily looked at Mark. His face had gone pale. Claire was crying now, but not the kind of crying that comes from remorse. It was panic. Fear of exposure. Fear of consequences. Fear of being seen clearly. Mark shook his head. "It's not what it looks like." Emily's father opened the envelope. His expression hardened with every page. Emily didn't scream. She just removed her veil slowly, like her body understood before her heart could. Then she handed her bouquet to her mother and walked out. The wedding ended without vows. Claire followed me into the parking lot. "You ruined everything," she said. I turned around. "No," I said quietly. "I just stopped helping you hide it." Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. For months, I had imagined that moment. I thought it would feel powerful, satisfying, like justice. But it didn't. It felt like standing in the ashes of a house I had once loved. The divorce was filed the next week. Mark's engagement ended. Emily sent me one message months later. "Thank you for telling me before it was too late." I still think about that sometimes. People asked why I waited until the wedding. The truth is, I didn't wait for revenge. I waited until I was strong enough to survive the truth out loud. Claire tried to apologize later. She said she had been lonely. She said Mark made her feel seen. She said she never meant to hurt me. But betrayal is strange. The people who destroy your trust often want credit for regretting it after they get caught. I forgave her eventually. Not for her. For the version of me who kept waking up at 2:14 a.m., wondering why love suddenly felt like a locked phone and a cold side of the bed. Now, my house is quiet, but it is honest. And every morning when I make coffee, I don't wonder who is lying beside me. I don't check anyone's phone. I don't study anyone's face for proof. I just breathe. Because losing a marriage hurt. Losing a best friend hurt. But losing the version of myself that begged for honesty from people committed to lying, that would have hurt more. And I finally chose not to lose him.